Let's get into this. Hi,
Yeah.
how are you?
um, I'm great.
So now I'm like hyper paranoid because if you watched our last episode, um, we had to cut out the last.
Like 10 minutes.
No, sir. It was like 30 minutes of like
Damn.
unedited footage that we had
Really?
because listen, we obviously aren't a big production. We don't have a James that tells us, hey, our mics are cutting out.
Yeah.
Maybe we should stop and reshoot this. So we have to constantly make sure if you see us like constantly like seeing our like mics are on.
We just need someone to sit in like a cook chair over
I
there
was
so
gonna
they
say,
can
should
like
Jose just sit there and be like, I can't hear you guys?
like the light's not
Oh
on.
my gosh. So we are now very much hyper paranoid. I mean,
Well,
for the first few episodes, it was your phone, which is what we're using as a
well, yeah,
camera.
no, I'm like it's still my phone, but like
Um,
it's well no, we've had the mics the whole time.
the mics are great, but I'm saying like first few episodes, the technical difficulty was your phone,
Oh
the
yeah.
storage of it all, which is
Yeah,
I
that's
guess like I have three different relate to this rant types of things because I am gonna rant about that. It will never. It's a scam to me. It is definitely a scam to me that iCloud storage is different from your phone
well,
storage.
yeah, because like because because
Oh, I
every
forgot you're a tech guy. So like it
well,
makes
yes,
sense to
yes, I
you.
have a useless degree that I never use
No,
except for telling people they're wrong about
I just
technology.
think it's so stupid. Like, I'm sorry. I think that's such a scam. I think that's so dumb. I understand your phone's basically a hard drive. Okay,
Okay,
it has
yes, right,
like it has a hard drive in it, and
right.
wow. And hard drives, I'm so pissed off. I'm stuttering. Hard drives have like their own storage ability, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I also think that 100 and was it 127 or 28 gigabytes in your phone, and that's like the least amount of
Right,
storage,
that's
or
what
not
I
the
have.
least amount,
Yeah,
but like that's like
yeah.
the average amount of storage that everybody has in their phone. I think that's a weird
I think
storage.
what's weird, yeah, like it's a random number,
Like, why can't you just
128.
bump that up to 200?
Why can't you just bump it up to 150
At
even? Like, you
least,
know what
right?
I mean? Like,
Exactly. So then, what gets me and what really pisses me off and what I think is such a
you
scam.
know what really grinds my gears, Tim?
No, my dumbass. Okay, because you know how like iCloud storage, right? My
Mm.
dumbass was like, "Oh my god, my storage is running low on my phone. Let me upgrade my storage," thinking it's my phone storage that I'm upgrading and paying $10.99 a month to upgrade. No, sir, it's
You're
not.
right, it's
It's
not.
the iCloud storage.
You're
So
right.
now I pay $10.99 a month for 2 terabytes of iCloud storage, not iPhone storage. That is the most scammiest shit
Okay, well,
I've
because
ever
you have to
heard.
keep in mind when if you lose your phone, everything that's on, let's say everything was just on the hard drive. Obviously, if that gets destroyed, whatever's in there is fucked. Screwed. Sorry. Whatever's in there is screwed. If, like, for instance, God forbid, like, let's say you didn't edit anything for like the next 2 days, or you lost all of it, and I happen to also lose my phone. Whoop de doo. But because of the cloud, I can log on to my iCloud on whatever device, whether that be like my laptop or my iPad or, whatever. And then I can just get it back on there because it's in the cloud. So,
I just think Steve Jobs would have not wanted this for us. Genuinely.
I
I think
mean,
Steve Jobs, after he passed, may he rest in peace, quite literally, Apple declined. Someone was making a point how, like, Samsung, they don't just make phones, right? They make fridges, they
yeah,
make microwaves, like, they make household appliances,
yeah,
right?
it's ridiculous.
It is okay, fine, you can think that, but I think that's also genius because at some point you got to stop making phones. At some point it gets like it hits a plateau, right? So
Yeah.
people are surprised that Apple has not started trying to make household
Well, you have to keep
appliances.
this in mind too. Is Apple has maintained this hierarchy on like because like having an iPhone is like a status symbol at this point. Like you have an iPhone,
Really?
people are like, oh, you're like a decently established person.
I
Like you know
don't
what I mean?
think so,
Well,
honestly, at
it's not
this
even. Well,
point.
it's not even that. But it is though still because
I
like
kind
you
of
look
get
at
what you
people.
mean.
Well, right, because like people have like an Android, whatever. It's not that anyone gets like looked down on or anything like that. That's stupid. But
Mhm.
like when people have an iPhone, it's like this weird thing of like you're a normal person. Like that's a normal thing to have. It's a standard even.
Right.
It's
I
become a
actually do.
standard.
I do get what you're saying.
Exactly.
Like people do side eye people who still have Androids. In the
Right,
big
we're like, dude,
2026.
you're using an Android,
But
like,
it's
you know
really
what I
up to
mean?
people's preferences. Like I hear arguments on both sides on why Android is
Well,
better
it's
than
funny.
Apple.
People forget that Android makes like the software, or no, sorry, the hardware for
Right.
for iPhones. Like
Right.
that's who makes like iPhone hardware is
Mhm.
the same people who make Samsung hardware.
Right.
The main difference is obviously Apple puts in different things for their hardware.
So this is gonna sound so dumb. The reason why I will forever still be an iPhone girly and not an Android girly or Samsung girly for whatever is because of the emojis. I know that's so dumb. That's something that's so stupid, but there's something about like the Android emojis that really don't sit
See,
well.
people argue the opposite even because like they're more animated or like
Well,
whatever
yeah,
or
because
like something.
you use Microsoft Teams,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I've
So
seen it.
when
Yeah,
I like send an
exactly.
emoji, it's kind of cool. Like they animate,
Right.
which is really cool. But at the same time, it's like they look a little weird.
This is unsettling. This is like uncanny valley for
A
emojis.
little, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well, that's the intro. It wasn't even my turn to go first, it was yours. So,
oh,
welcome to the 9th episode of Rated R for Relatives.
sorry again that we missed another week.
Yeah,
Unforeseen
we
circumstances, a lot of things going on, moving parts in lives,
Mhm.
and I will be going on another work trip, but I shouldn't be missing another podcast though. I'll be back on a Saturday, so
Yeah.
we should be
Okay.
good.
Well, that's good.
Um,
Well, yeah, do apologize for that. Apologize for the technical difficulties on our last episode.
of course.
But we did gain a few more subscribers. We're at 19.
Oh
Yeah,
yay!
so I'm thank you for subscribing. Make sure you're liking and commenting. We will interact with you. We are on our socials all the time. Well, I am. I run it. Um
Yeah,
and and speaking of, I do need to make more promo clips.
I was actually gonna
Like
get on you about that these
I
past
really do.
week.
But listen, when you edit about an hour to an hour and a half long episode, the last thing you want to do
Is
is
edit,
cut down
yeah,
like 15 seconds
or
of like a promo clip. Like
right,
it's exhausting. Editing is exhausting. I understand why a lot of these people that do create content hire editors, and if it was in the budget, I absolutely would hire an editor that I
right,
trusted, but
right.
I just it's so much work.
It's
It's
so
I
much
work
work.
like a dog day and night making sure that our podcast is decent, and having to on top of that edit again is quite literally exhausting. But that's a
Fair.
first world problem. I need to get on it.
That's a first world problem.
I need to get on my Zoom. So more of that content is gonna come soon of the promo clips of it all, more content. Listen, this is the first season of our podcast,
Right,
right?
yeah,
This is the season where we are learning this podcast thing. We're getting the hang of it. We're learning,
yeah. And you know
certain
what? 19 subscribers in I think like 3 months
is
is pretty good. I
yeah,
like that. That's a good
it's
rate.
great. I like it too. I'm proud of it, and I think we're on a good track. I feel like we're on a good
Yeah,
roll.
no,
So a lot of upgrades are coming in season 2. Trust me, I have plans.
or even hopefully just by the summer or
Yeah,
end of after summer, I suppose.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe because I believe we stopped because first of all, our plan is to do first seasons like a 25 episodes type of thing,
right.
and then that's like what halfway through the year. So we kind of stop. I want to say like July. So with that being said, like we take a break because prior that the last half of the year is when a bunch of movies are coming out, they're getting nominated for awards, so we need to make time for
Catching up on those, which
catching
will
up
be
on
on our
that.
socials, obviously, like doing active
Yes.
things on there, like, oh, watching this movie, just
Yes.
watch this. This is what we, little
Exactly.
breakdown
Like
or like spoiler free review, like whatever, little
yes.
quick little written thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we
Something like
would
that.
still be active on social media, of course,
Exactly.
but that those are plans for season 2. Okay,
Yeah.
so bear with us as we get our groove in and understand what this podcast is and what we contribute to it. And
Yeah.
so, super excited things are coming, I promise. But let's get into this episode.
But
Marcus's turn to get into relate to this rant.
yeah, well, first of all, let me start off by saying when you obviously anyone who has a car knows a car comes with its problems. But when you buy a car that's older than you, it's gonna have quite a few problems. And it's funny because like there's the basic things that like obviously I'm like very grateful that they're not shitting out on me. Like in any case, like I've kept it with oil changes, whatever. But like not even 2 days ago, I was driving. Me and my friend had just gotten like we were just leaving my place. We were gonna go to his place. We were gonna get food first. Anyway, he was following me, and as soon as I turned the light, all I hear is this
Oh no.
just inside my engine bay, and I'm like, oh fuck, you've got, please be something that's like fixable or like whatever, like
Yeah.
something just popped out of place. Anyway, cracked the hood. First I didn't like really see anything, it was dark already, so but then I turned it on and I heard it again, obviously, and I looked, and where your spark plug goes inside like that part of your like actual engine block, in the cylinder head of the engine, that's where the spark plug goes, like, because you have, obviously, your engine, depending on like what kind of engine it is, has like oh so many cylinders. You have,
Yeah.
like, if you're running a V6, 6 cylinders. You have like literally a 4 cylinder, it's gonna be 4 cylinders, so
Okay.
on and so forth. Anyhow, my fourth cylinder head shot out, like, was completely like shot out, like the entire, because it's like a stem thing like is in there, and it's just held in by like a gasket type of thing, like a rubber gasket inside of a head. So like that's kind of how it's fitted in there. The spark plug is connected into it, and the spark plug is screwed into your cylinder head.
Okay.
So it's not supposed to just shoot out.
Right.
It's screwed in there.
Uh-huh.
So for that to have happened, one of two things has to be true. One, the actual spark plug was loose for whatever reason. Or two, something happened where it blew out the threading, like the part that screws, where it blew out the threading in the cylinder head.
Okay.
Which I took it out. I didn't see any metal shavings really on like the thing, on the spark plug, so I don't think it blew the threading, but it's still very possible because I looked in there and I don't know if I could even see the threading. So, which it's kind of hard to tell if you'd even be able to see that because it's like obviously it's threading around the wall. But
Right.
in any case, that's annoying to me because
Right, of course.
I just got my oil changed 2 weeks ago, my transmission flush. I got 2 new tires because 2 of mine were balding. Like, you could hear me screeching when I turned balding.
Yeah.
Like, I could make a freaking dead stop and you would hear me screeching.
Oh my god.
But in any case, I just did all this shit. And now I can't even drive my car now. Like,
Yeah.
because, well,
No,
because like because you kind of could, but you're running a pretty big risk of fucking up your engine even more.
Right.
And obviously, not to mention, like, if it is the spark plug, you pretty much have to replace all four, because if one's already up, then the rest are soon to follow.
Yeah. If you ask me what I know about my car, I just know that it's white and it's a Hyundai. Sometimes I could confuse, is it a Elantra or Sonata? I don't know. I
It's
don't
an
remember.
Elantra.
No, it's a Sonata.
It's a Sonata.
Yeah, it says it on the back of the
The
car.
last one was an Elantra.
Yeah, the
that's
last one was an Elantra. But anyways, I don't know anything about it other than that. And that I have
Right.
Apple CarPlay. That is like the only thing that I
That I
know.
have Apple CarPlay. We have heated seats.
Yeah, heated and cooling.
Heated.
It's a great car. I love it. However, but I understand how inconvenient it is when your car just doesn't work. And because you are also too, like you just said, like you did the oil change, you got your transmission flush, like all these things, right? And then the second you like take care of your car and show it some love, it wants to do some weird shit.
And you know what's the biggest scam to me? The biggest scam to me? Lord, no, hopefully it won't be out for that long. But God forbid I don't use my car for a month. I still have to pay insurance, even though I'm not using the bitch. Like,
isn't that crazy? Yeah, no, isn't that crazy? And I also
like,
think car insurance is a little bit of a scam too, because listen, I understand like insurance.
what I think is a scam is that it's illegal not to have car insurance.
Right, because
that's weird.
It's like saying it's illegal to not have health insurance to me.
Right.
Because here's the thing. I get it, your car needs to be like what is it, registered?
Right.
I understand
That's
that.
understandable.
That's understandable.
Right.
However,
just like a birth certificate needs to be given to a person.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, but my thing is, let's say I take care of my car and my car takes care of me, right? Nothing gets damaged, everything's fine. Like, let's say I don't get into a wreck, God forbid. And it's been like 10 years, right? And I'm paying car insurance. So I feel like after 5 or 10 years, in my opinion, I think you should be able, kind of like life insurance, you should be able to pull some money out of the car insurance that you've been paying to like do some upgrades to your car. Like let's say you want a new windshield or you want tint or you want, does that make sense?
That'd
Because
be
let's say like I don't get into
the
a car
system's
wreck.
rigged.
No, I mean, come on, look at where we live.
Yeah, right.
But like I'm just saying
We're the
that,
Fire Nation.
like, no, that doesn't make sense to me. Because let's say I'm paying car insurance on a car, okay, and it kaputs, right? So I can't use my car insurance money that wasn't used towards a car wreck, but my car kaput. So can I like
Right?
use it to fix it?
Right?
Do you get what I
Right, like
mean?
how is that? How is it not insured for when shit breaks?
But it's insured for when you get into a wreck.
Right.
Which
Unless we're idiots and maybe that's what full coverage is.
maybe
Someone
someone's
tell
gonna
us in
educate
the
us.
someone tell us if we're really just that stupid and that's what full coverage does for your car, because
I mean, I don't know.
I only have
Jose knows all of
liability.
that.
You know?
Maybe we should phone a friend. Like I don't
Use our
know.
lifeline.
Yeah, but he'll know more about that. But that's what I'm saying. Like I just think that that's the whole thing about cars. It's so inconvenient because once you don't have one, your life is shit.
Especially because if you don't live in New York or Los
Yeah, you
Angeles
don't
or
live
maybe even
in
Chicago,
right.
you are screwed. Like,
And
you
I'm
know,
not saying public transit isn't accessible like everywhere. However,
it's just not as ideal
it's not as
everywhere.
ideal. Exactly. It's not
Like,
as ideal. And then Ubers and Lyfts, they cost so much
oh my
here
god.
because there's not a high volume of people needing
Right.
those. Because
Not a lot
obviously
of
for
clientele.
those who don't know, like random strangers that are watching us, which we appreciate you. Thank you for clicking on our podcast.
Right?
But we live in Colorado. So you need a car to live in
You need
Colorado.
a car.
Truthfully, you do. As someone who doesn't drive, it's very frustrating for me, obviously, and we'll get into that in a second. But I just want to make it very clear to the people that are making fun of me and talk shit. No, this isn't funny. Like I was hearing some certain things from the grapevine that there are certain people that we know and love talking shit about the fact that I don't drive, like making as like an insult.
Oh right. Well, I
And
mean,
not
like,
like it's not like a funny haha thing, like, oh, Arianna doesn't drive. No, they are like making it seem like I'm less of an adult because I don't know how to drive. And listen, like I understand that that's a lot of people's point of view. However, here's my problem this is the reason why I don't drive. People are crazy on the road.
I
I'm
think
not
you
even
genuinely have like clinical OCD.
I don't know, maybe it is like clinical OCD. As a passenger, right? I still get anxiety even when Jose drives. Not that Jose's a bad driver. I'm getting anxiety about the people around us because it's like people are dumb. Like people are really dumb. I don't know.
I've almost been hit 3 times in the past month.
Like I said, we live in Colorado, right? We live in Colorado. We have a lot of people that move here
2
from different
people almost
states.
like sideswiped me off the road. Like,
See, like
completely
and
wiped me
for
off the map.
what? Like for what? Like Jose and I, we live in more northern Colorado. Like, I'm not going to say exactly what city we live in.
Right,
Just
yeah.
know that we live in the Larimer County area.
Right.
So, quite literally, it took us an hour and a half to come from here to go to Westminster. A drive that usually takes 30 minutes took us an hour and a half because of traffic. And listen, as a passenger princess, traffic never bothered me none. But now it does because it's like, what the hell? And it's not even, listen, I get traffic when there is a car wreck. I understand that.
Right.
This traffic has been caused by people not knowing how to merge and not knowing how to go. Like people will, and I will never understand. Like Jose really points out because he's a commercial driver, right?
Right.
So driving's like his entire career. So he's like pointing out to me, like, this is the problem. People speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down for no reason. For no reason. And Jose was telling me that the other problem is people use their brakes way too much.
Oh yeah.
It's simple physics. Let your foot off the gas. You do not need to brake because obviously when you see someone brake in front of you, you have to brake.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because it's like, oh, they could be braking for an animal, they could be braking for another car, like whatever. But when Jose switches lanes and sees why the hell they keep braking, it's simply because they don't know how to let their foot off the gas. Like listen, it is so frustrating. And that's why there's some people that are bad drivers and still get on the road. There's people that are bad drivers
and
and don't get on the road.
people
When
that are
people
bad
want to
drivers.
make fun of me for not having a license and not knowing how to drive, listen, you should be thankful I am not on the road. And I can vent out about this like for days, but like I it's a conscious choice that I'm making. You saw from the other day, like I'm really convinced that if I get behind a wheel, I'm putting not only myself, whoever's in the car with me, and other people around me in grave danger. So please,
Grave danger.
that's what I'm saying. So if anybody's listening or watching and is like, oh my gosh, she's 23 and doesn't have a well, I'm 22 and doesn't have a license, like she doesn't know how to drive, like ha ha ha. Be thankful that I don't, because I will be one of those dumbasses that break at every little damn thing. I promise you, because it's scary. Driving's terrifying. It really
Oh
is. These
yeah,
people
I
are
mean,
nuts. These people are crazy. And don't even get me started on like the anger that people have on the road too.
oh yeah, like
Like
what was it like
my
the other day? Like
gosh.
I went around like a dude, and he got like so he like was like hollering. And I'm like, dude, you're going like 5 miles below the speed limit, and I'm like, I'm going to go around you, like,
Mm-hmm.
and like whatever, and like he was just kind of he kept like he kept on trying to like kind of catch up to me a little bit. They just kept like kind of yelling at me, I think, and I was like, okay, like F off, like whatever, and I just kept going, and I think I just outmaneuvered him in traffic at one point.
And it's crazy because someone did tell me that, because remember that one time you were teaching me how to drive and I
Oh
took
yeah.
forever to turn because I was so scared to turn.
Oh yeah.
And then the person behind me went around and gave me the dirtiest look. It's still engraved in my brain because honestly, like that is messed up. I hate the thing of like when people drive, they think they are the most perfect driver in the whole world.
That is
So that
true,
everyone
yeah.
around them needs to be the most perfect driver in the whole world. No, that is not how the world works. Some people are bad at driving and don't get on the road, and some people are bad at driving and do. Accept it. It's just ridiculous,
Well,
and I'm sorry that you're having car issues. And
yeah, I mean, I'm at least because I at least have a car to drive. At least some people just be screwed, but
mm-hmm.
I at least have or have to go through like a rental, whatever.
Yeah,
But
and going through rentals sucks.
yeah, especially when you're not the age when you're like you can
Yeah, it's like an
usually get away.
upcharge because you're supposed to
Yeah,
be 25 and over. In certain
exactly.
states, it's a different age. I think it's 21 and over in certain states, but here in
Yeah,
Colorado,
it's
it's 25.
25. Yeah, which is
Well, I hope your car feels better.
yeah, you and me both. I don't even know, but that was that. Other than that, work's been fantastic for the most part. This last week's been great. Every day I've had a successful like set sale,
That's good.
so that's that's pretty good. I will say it's not even with certain types of people. It's mainly only with like I think like literally the smallest handful of people, like literally three that I can name off the top of my head that it's like they think I'm out to get one or both of them,
Right.
which I think is so strange
Mm-hmm.
because if anyone knows me at all, it's yes, I admit I'm an asshole. I'm a bit like I'm sarcastic, like you know what I mean. That's how I
I
am.
mean, I don't think you are an asshole. I think you can be one.
Right, because in this particular sense, the times that I'm being like considered an asshole, I guess, or at least that I figure,
Mm-hmm.
and what it from what it seems, I'm so genuinely. I'm sorry. I am gonna say this again because this is one thing that I do know about myself. I'm a very introspective person,
Mm-hmm.
like almost to a fault. Like I know
Mm-hmm.
my flaws very deeply, and because again, I know I can be an asshole,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sarcastic. Like I make really dumb jokes, offhanded ones, and sometimes they and yeah, sometimes they might be a little bit mean-ish, but again, it's sarcasm.
Right.
Like that's just how I am. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's not everyone's forte, and that's fine. But what bothers me is when it seems like certain people consistently make it seem like I am there to antagonize them
Yeah.
or to make them feel lesser than for some reason. Like I was told by like one person in particular, or like a couple. Well, yeah, like well more I guess kind of more recently that I made them feel stupid. I admittedly at the time when they said this to me, I was not like in the headspace to hear this healthily because I
Mm-hmm.
was like already tired. It was like the morning. I'm because my head already went to like, no way you're starting with me right now.
Right.
Like if I make you feel stupid, I'm sorry, but that really isn't on me.
Well, and did they say in what context? And maybe I
Actually,
can
yes.
tell you that maybe
Yes. Actually, yes.
you're rude.
And the exact context that they said it with, I thought was strange. And I don't hold anything against this person, obviously, but it just threw me aback a little bit. But it was because he had referenced a day prior to where we were getting told a story by another one of our friends,
Mhm.
and a friend was telling us that like like a guy that he had met for a second was basically told him he was gonna go dig up his dead wife to make sure she wasn't dead because he thought he saw her.
What?
Whole other story. Anyway, that story was told as had all started to hang out together, and the person that I'm referring to was the last person to get told the story as we
Mm.
were all hanging out,
Mhm.
and they were the only person to really give like a sympathetic reaction of like, oh, like I
Oh,
hope
yeah.
that guy's okay. That's really sad and whatever. And when he said it's really sad, I just again made a sarcastic and yes, slightly like a funny like
Insensitive.
well whatever. I was just like, it's honestly more morbid than anything else. Like that's
Oh,
see that's all I said. That's all I said.
in
And
that tone, like the way you just said it right
okay,
now.
literally, I was like, it's honestly more morbid than anything else. Like that's literally that's how I said it. That's how I said it in the car. Like, and
I'm really trying to figure out how someone would be like, "Wow, that dude's an
when
asshole."
he repeated it, just he had just gone, actually, it's actually more morbid. He said it like that.
Like as if you said it matter of factly, not
Exactly.
not
Yes.
like piggybacking off of the sympathetic
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
As if I had said it like that was supposed to be his opinion or
Mhm.
something. That's not what I meant.
Right.
It was a sarcastic comment.
Mhm.
Like, do you know what I mean? And I get it. I'm a smart ass. Like, whatever. That's how
Mhm.
I am. My boss acknowledges it. My friends acknowledges it. That's how I am.
I think
Like,
we both are that to a fault, and that funny how you're talking about the story because my rant is very similar to
right.
yours.
Well, and because I get it, and because again, we all have our faults, and I'm not saying I'm a perfect person, and again, it might not be everyone's forte, and I'm not forcing you to deal with me or my quote unquote attitude if
Mhm.
it's not something that you like. But this is really the first time that anyone has really brought up of an issue of this to me.
Mhm.
Everyone around me is like, yeah, like, okay, like that's
Mhm.
how we get it. Like he's funny
Yeah.
ish. Like, people laugh, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like for instance, our other friends were laughing at the comments I was making
Mhm.
about the story.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
me and our friend that was next to me, we're kind of laughing a little bit too hard, me and her were saying like
Right.
because like it
Right.
was funny to us. Like
Mhm.
whatever. I think a lot of our generation has a dark sense of humor. Like
Right, and I feel like yeah, we do.
and like
And we do, and that's because that's a lot of our generation has a lot of
trauma
trauma.
that we are
And
and
not
trauma that
just
we don't shy away from, so we make
exactly.
humor out of it.
Yeah, and
Like
but however, we do have to be a little bit more mindful that the generation before us, like let's say we're Gen Z, right? Millennials, they are very much like that's not funny. Do you know what I mean?
right,
And sometimes, because sometimes like things that I say in front of mom, and it's like that's not funny. You know what
right.
I mean? But like you and I, like that's just the way we cope about things, you know. But and then the generation before them, Gen X, and your Gen X, your Boomers, their jokes are a little bit more outdated, I should say,
Yeah.
and very much out of touch
Yeah.
because now like they're that's how they're trying to talk to us, right? They're trying to talk to us and communicate with us about their trauma or like things that they gone through in their version of dark sense of humor
Right.
when really your jokes are actually offensive. They are not funny.
You're like, "This is just mean and,
This is
like,
just
really."
mean and cruel. Just because you laugh at the end of it doesn't mean that it's funny.
No, yeah, because we see a lot of that.
And that's just what I've been identifying, and that's just my social observation that I've personally experienced.
I don't wanna make anyone
Hmm.
feel stupid or, like, whatever,
Right.
but again, I am sorry, but this is a true you can look it up philosophically, look it up psychologically. this is a literal fact. If someone is making you feel stupid, those are your feelings that are on you for that.
Mhm.
When someone's
Yeah.
making you feel, unless like it's literally a condescending tone, that's
Yeah.
different.
I have
Like,
to say that has nothing to do with you because as someone who always I'm someone who's very conscious of how I come across towards people.
right,
Perception for me, like how I'm perceived is very, 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 very in my brain.
right.
And I think that's because of things dated back to certain traumas that we have. And I as someone who can tend to lean towards, oh, like they don't like me because of how they said this certain thing towards me or because perception is everything, right? And the way we view how others see us, I'm starting to realize me in my own being, it's how I actually view myself.
Right,
Because again, like when you're in a mindset of being insecure about yourself, being super self-conscious about yourself, like how sometimes I am,
right.
you tend to take a lot of things the wrong way. And I am actively trying to move out of that mindset, but I think I need to hire a professional to help me out of that. No, I'm being serious. It's very much hard to get out of that mindset. It is so hard, especially when there's trauma rooted in it. Does that
Right,
make sense? Like
right.
being throughout my life, I was always told by so many people that I was annoying, that I was too much for a lot of people, that I was, whatever. So sometimes I tend to sell myself short. And I had like a friend, actually my coworkers made me realize that like why do you say those things about yourself? Like that is like you're funny, like you're a good person, like you're not, you know what I mean? Like why do you feel that way? And it's because other
Yeah.
people have made me feel that
See, and
way.
I even come into contact with something like that, like yesterday too, where like one of my friends, because we were out and like a little bit, and it was like really his first time being intoxicated in
Mhm.
front of like other people, really, and he was
Mhm.
like, oh my bad, I'm like talking too much or like whatever.
Mhm.
I'm like, dude, you're not talking too much. I'm like, dude, you're just you're having fun,
Yeah,
dude. Like
see,
you're
oh,
vibing. Like, dude, don't feel like that. I was like, you don't like. First of all, anyone who's telling you you're talking too much or you're doing too much when you're the only time where you're doing too much when you're like that is when you are stumbling around and acting a fool. Are you acting a fool right now? We're both like, nah. And you're like, well, like, yeah, exactly.
right, because
Like,
and that makes me so sad when I hear those things come from other people because like
right.
I'm seeing a reflection of how I also talk about myself too. Being entering my mid 20s soon, like trying to grow up in
Okay.
that sense. Do you get what I mean? Like grow up, not everything is about you. Grow up. They're probably having a bad day and whatever they are telling you or their tone has nothing to do with you. Grow up. Some people don't talk about their feelings and that's okay.
Right?
You know what I mean? Cuz I have a hard time with that too, which like that's a whole other thing. But
Oh yeah.
because we are so open about our feelings
Right.
that it's weird when other people aren't.
Right. I'm like, are you
And
we're always like, are you okay? Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
and
Like
I know for them on that end, it's like
it's not right.
annoying.
It's not always like, are you okay? It's literally like, no, I'm fine. It's just not my thing. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
and especially like entering this new friendship that I have, I'm very open about my feelings, and she in the moment is not open about her feelings, but will later on express to me
and
what happened.
that's how one of my best friends is. Literally exactly that. And me and him just go back and forth a bunch of like. Obviously, he tells me he's glad that I've
Mhm.
given him that perspective.
Yeah.
I told him that he keeps me more at least more grounded away from
Mhm.
my emotions, and so
Mhm.
I'm not like overly doing
Mhm.
that kind of thing. He's like, dude, don't stress about that. Like that's dumb.
Yeah.
Like like
Yeah, cuz like again, like perception is everything.
exactly
Like, I tend to think, did I say something to like
right.
hurt them? Did I do something that bothered them? Like what's wrong? Because sometimes it's a switch in people and they like cuz they could be laughing and having a fun time and then all of a sudden something happens or they
Right,
just
like
go mute and
I
go
noted
quiet
that
and
kind
it's
of
like
yesterday when and like another one of our friends he was exiting and he kind of had left in a huff. Like it looked
mhm.
like something switched for a second. And I overheard a bit of a conversation and I heard a couple of like details and I
Mhm.
was just like, "Oh." And then when he did that, my brain was connecting some weird dots
Mhm.
because my brain was going in between what did he think I was meant? Because like I had even realized shorthandedly, like I was like very short with people at the time, especially
Mhm.
when he was leaving, because I was
Mhm.
like locked in at Pong. Like,
Right.
so I think I even like grabbed him in to dab me up, like
Uh-huh.
literally like pulled him into myself and like
Right.
pushed him off because like I was just in the zone.
Right.
But like point is he seemed to like because I watched him literally like grab his significant other and like whip her out of there practically. Like that's almost like he's like, hey, like let's get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Like he seemed upset, and I like and he I remember like when he had left, I was just like is he okay? Like what? Because I
Mm-hmm.
remember like I said hearing like details of conversation, thought it was strange because like
Right.
I was like, oh, I could see why someone would be upset by that fact and
Right.
like things like that. But point to wrap this all up, I guess, at least on my rants,
Mm-hmm.
is that I I am trying to I'm trying to be obviously a good. I don't want to be a mean person. Like if
Yeah.
anyone thinks I'm purposefully mean to them, first of all, do some double checking yourself because I never want to be a mean person. So if I am being mean to you, check what you've done to me maybe or what you've done to
Right.
my friends because like
Right.
I don't know like because here's the thing again like when especially if I'm not first out to get someone like because they might feel like I am
Mm-hmm.
when I'm not out to do that at first, but you're already like starting with me with certain things,
Yeah.
and like especially if it's gonna be at a wrong time, like you know what? Fine, I'm gonna start firing back because like what are we doing right now? And I don't want to do this because again, what am I don't want to. I'm not trying to do anything to antagonize you, and like someone please tell me if I am like by all means, I am
Mm-hmm.
a very receptive person.
Right.
I might be like confusion for a second because I genuinely don't know what you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about or what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
but tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And in any case, to anyone who I have affected like that, being either insensitive or dismissive, maybe, or just outright rude, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, with my attitude,
Mm-hmm.
I am sorry.
And I think it also too it sucks because I'm not saying like men can get away with acting rude. I mean, clearly not. But I'm saying like you are a man. You have a deep voice. Sometimes your tone can contribute to how people perceive things, but it sucks. It's like, dude, what am I supposed to do? Like talk in a high pitched voice? That's not comfortable for
It
me.
isn't. It isn't. It sucks. I have to talk like this all the time. That sucks. That sucks. That you understand. Like oh my god, let me relax my throat, please.
Yeah,
Like I literally,
because I mean, I don't think I have like a super deep
you don't.
voice, but
I've
when I
met
re-
women with deep voices. You don't have
when
a
I
deep voice.
relax like my throat, like this is literally me relaxing my throat
Right. Exactly.
versus like for example like customer service voice of like, hi, how are you? Oh, you're
Right.
doing good. That's great. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Right.
Versus this. Do you get what I mean?
Exactly.
But we are gonna get into it in my rant.
Yeah.
So let's make it my turn because my gosh, do I have a lot of things to say. Getting into my rant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to keep this as confidential as possible. So at my job, you know, we deal with insurance.
Of course.
I had this person come in. Okay. She was like, oh, like, can I check in with you? And I was like, yeah, because a sign above me says check out. But we all do the same thing up there. We can check in, check out, doesn't matter.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, like, because the other two were busy. So I checked her in and she was like, oh, I have new insurance. I'm like, great, I need to load because when someone has new insurance and they're being seen, we need to load it in as soon as possible
Right.
because it can cause a lot of financial issues. If we don't load it in before like they have their visit, billing, it can cause a lot of issues in
Oh
billing for
yeah.
them. So I'm entering in her stuff and I see that she has an insurance already in there. And I was like, I just want to double check with you. Is this inactive completely? She's like, already with the attitude. I don't know. Like that, I promise you. She was like, well, I don't know. First of all, how do you not know? Especially this certain type of, it's not even insurance, it's actually assistance. With this certain type of assistance, as someone who has it, you get notices all the time. Like if I get a new job and my income changes, I'm like, hey, your income has changed. Can you call us and let us know? Like whatever, because if you make a certain amount of money, you no longer qualify for
Right.
this. So, anyways, so she hands me two cards. One of them's an assistance. It's not the one that's in the system. And one of them is like an actual insurance company. So when you have an assistance program and an insurance company, they cancel each other out. So you don't copay, doesn't like apply to you, co-insurance doesn't apply to you. You don't have to pay for anything.
Okay.
Essentially. But it's also really important how you load them in, because you're supposed to load in typically the insurance and then the assistance after. The insurance has to be your primary, and the assistance from the government has to be your secondary. Because here's the thing, when you I'm going to talk shit about our government for a second. They don't want to pay for anything. They don't, especially when it comes to health.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to pay for shit. So why it's important for you to actually get another insurance, or sometimes they call it a supplement, to your assisted insurance from the government, is that you need to load it in your insurance primarily. That way, whatever bill they get, they're like, okay, like here's what we'll cover. And if they don't cover everything, they then go to the assistance and then the government assistance insurance, and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll cover the rest. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like, that is exactly how it works. That's the insurance food chain,
Right.
essentially. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people have it switched. Some people have their primary insurance as the government assisted one, and then the secondary as the actual insurance that they have.
Right.
So
it gets billed all wrong.
It gets billed not just wrong, but you still end up getting a bill, actually. Because that, again, like I said, the government doesn't want to pay for shit. Right. So what's going to happen is they're not going to cover shit. And then your insurance company is like, well, we'll only cover a portion of it, but they have to get billed the rest. Does that make sense?
Right.
And again, it really just does every insurance. Yeah, no, just a little educate you guys on insurance. A lot of it is different. Yeah. Though every insurance, oh my God, my department of my job is so frustrating. I hate when people give me insurance to load in, because it's really like, this is going to be a pain in the ass. Right. Because every insurance card is different. The numbers can look different. Where everything is different. Like, it is so annoying. So anyways, she gives me 2 of them, okay? A government assisted one, her insurance. Okay. I ask her the question, which one is your primary and which one is your secondary? Oh, that set her off. No, dude, I'm not even, no, it set her off. So it really did piss her off, that question. Like, she was like, well, I don't know. Clearly you don't know what you're doing. Snatches the cards from me. Snatches them. Ooh. And I haven't even asked her that I would need her ID, because when we collect your insurance, we need an ID.
Yeah, of course. They need to verify it to them. Yeah.
Exactly. So I haven't even gotten to that part yet. Because we
need very early in the conversation.
Like right after we load it in, we need to make a This is you guys. I didn't even ask her that many questions. And mind you, these questions aren't pointless. I'm asking you questions because if I don't load in their insurance correctly, right, I can get in huge trouble. She knows one of my coworkers by name, so she's like, I'm just gonna go to them. I'm just gonna go to them, like, whatever. And I'm just like, okay. And then at the same time, as she's snatching the cards, we have a dry cleaning company that comes in and picks up the doctor's dry cleaning, and they clean their coats, whatever.
Okay, that's cool.
No, it's really cool. Like, business idea. Like, if you are in the laundry cleaning business, highly suggest recommending going to like doctor's offices, urgent cares. You will be set, let me tell you. Anyways, so he's, at the same time as she's walking away from my desk, he comes around the corner, and I smile, I wave at him, and he says, I forgot even what he said. I was being polite. Like, he just said like a little joke or whatever, and I think it was a joke. I don't even know. And I was just like, oh yeah, like whatever. I like laughed, okay? Literally like, oh yeah, whatever. Okay, so stupid. That was a stupid example. That's not how I did it. But that was the nature of the tone of this conversation.
Right.
Keep in mind, though, as she's walking away from my desk after she just threw a hissy fit at mine. I can see in your eyes that you know exactly where this is going.
Oh, yeah.
She finally goes to my other coworker. They are asking her the same set of questions that I asked her. Mind you, this coworker is not as polite as me. I mean, they are polite, but their tone of voice is very mono.
Right.
So versus me, I'm like, hi, how are you? like whatever, you know what I mean? Like I'm super Barbie. Like in fact, like that coworker tends to poke fun at me at how I am towards customers, and I'm like, this is why.
Right.
This is why. Because if I even drop an octave in any way, if I shift my tone in any way, especially with the demographic of patients that we have, and being a woman, and not only being just a woman, but a woman of color, I'm a bitch. Oh, I'm a bitch because God forbid I dropped my voice in active. I mean,
she has attitude. She's hysterical.
Exactly. She has attitude. She's oh my God, she's so mean and so rude. And that's exactly what she was telling my other coworker. This person was literally complaining to my coworker of like, she was so short with me. Girl was asking you questions, and I was anything but short. And then she starts bawling, dude.
You're joking.
Bawling. But hold on. She starts bawling as she's complaining about me, saying all these things about me that are just completely untrue. And I thank the Lord up above that I had not one witness, but 2 witnesses, 3 witnesses actually, 3 witnesses that saw this interaction with me and this person. Okay, as she's crying and complaining about me, she's like, and this family member just passed away just yesterday, and she's just crying about it. And I get it, I understand it. We understand grief, we really do.
Any normal human, honestly.
Well, no, but I'm saying like, girl, what do you like? You know what I mean? I was literally like, I was trying so hard not to react, Marcus, and you know me. I was trying so hard. I'm like, I love my job. I love my job. I make good money. Please, like, this is not worth it. This is not worth it. And then she was like, I want to speak to your manager. Like, I need to speak to your manager right now. Oh, you want to speak to my manager? First of all, I'm not saying I can get away with whatever,
Right.
but like my manager, we get complaints all the time because of the demographic of patients that we have in our department, right?
Yeah.
They take everything so personal. My coworker was like, okay, like I'll give our manager information and she will call you. Okay. It doesn't stop here.
Oh no.
They leave, whatever.
Right.
And my coworker is like, you need to go tell our manager because you just need to get ahead of this. Because this patient was upset. So I was like, all right, cool. So I went, told my manager exactly what happened. And this is where I honestly got emotional.
Right.
Because it was funny because I went in there and I was like, you're going to get a complaint about me. And she literally was like, okay, what happened? Like, you know, like it's not uncommon. It really
what
is
happened?
Uncommon. Because listen, when people complain, like if you work anywhere, whether you work in an office, whether you work in a food or restaurant, like whatever,
right,
you are going to get complained on. Obviously, it's the nature of our world. But mainly what these people that are complaining on you about, normal people just want to be heard. That's it. They just want to be heard, and that's all it is, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
They just want to vent out, essentially. So I'm telling her what happened, and I get emotional. I was like, listen, I know I can be a smartass sometimes. I know sometimes I make remarks, but listen, these people are dumb sometimes. And also, like, and I know that's not right. But this time, I was being so nice to this person. I was being so nice to you, doing my job, asking you necessary questions to do my job. I get paid $18.50 an hour to ask you these questions. So yes, I am doing my job. God forbid a woman does her job. Seriously. And I start crying. This time I start crying because it's frustrating. Because it's frustrating, Marcus. You should have seen the way this person was speaking to me. It took everything out of me not to react in the way that I would want to.
No, you're brave.
Because it doesn't stop here. It doesn't. If you think it's bad now, oh, it will get worse. So my manager is like, okay, I'll give her a call. Whatever.
Right.
So the next day, I am just doing my job right. Me and my other coworker up front. The same person that I interacted with yesterday comes storming into my department. I thought they were going to punch me.
Or she's got a gun.
No, Marcus. No, you should have seen the way this person was coming in. Like, I was frightened. I thought this person was going to hop over this desk that I have. It looks like they were gonna launch over my desk. They talked to my other coworker, and they were like, your manager didn't call me yesterday. I need to see your supervisor. Like, you guys, I understand that this person's going through a very hard time. I understand that. But this person left my job.
Left the premises.
She left the premises, went on about her day, went to
A
bed.
full 24 hours.
No, Marcus, it was a full 24 hours. This person went to bed. No, this person had dinner probably, went to bed, and
Complained
woke
about
up,
someone else.
had breakfast, still coming in and wanting to get me fired. You guys, I can't make this up. They went to go ask a supervisor.
Right.
One of our supervisors, they're not really a supervisor, but they are a lead because they've been there for 10 years. They've had our job before. Like they know, but they
They're
are
like
in
a senior in your position.
Kind of, yes.
Right.
But they are in a different branch of our department.
Okay.
So, but she's still nonetheless our lead when we don't have our manager in the clinic with
Right.
us. So the coworker goes up to our supervisor and is like, or goes up to our lead and tells her what happened. Mind you, this lead just got back from vacation. This was her first day back at work from vacation.
First day back at work.
And this is what she has to deal with. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad for her. So, because again, it gets worse. And then they were like, go find the other manager, because we have a manager for the clerical team and then we have a manager for the clinical team. So the lead tells her, go find the manager for the clinical team. And if you can't find them, come and grab me. So they were like, cool, bet. I saw my coworker jump from department to department in our clinic trying to find the clinical manager. My coworker was trying very hard to find this one because we really didn't want our lead to deal with this,
right.
So they couldn't find them. Our lead had to go up and interact with this patient. And she's still going off. So my lead takes her to a completely different office, right. Closes the door, obviously. Yeah. Thick wooden door, mind you. You can hear her yelling and crying about, we can't even hear exactly what she's saying, but come on. We know what she's complaining about. We know. So this person leaves, right. And my lead comes back in. She gives me a hug because, and mind you, like, her and I have never really like
First of all, for anyone to do that after someone just complained about you,
yeah,
dastardly.
Confirmation that I was not in the wrong.
Yeah, no.
Because my lead gave me a hug. She's like, I am so sorry. And I'm like, I am so sorry. Like, I didn't know what I did to this woman. So, because again, she wasn't here when
the first interaction.
First interaction, right? So we had to give her the little rundown a little bit of my side of the story.
Right.
And then my other coworker, she's like, well, I'm nosy. What was she saying? Mm-hmm. This person was threatening to sue me, threatening to sue the hospital. Yeah. Literally saying I shouldn't have a job. I am very unprofessional. And she wants to see me fired. I've had some bad interactions with customer service, like working in customer service. I've worked in retail. I worked at a restaurant. I've had some bad interactions. This one takes the cake. Mm-hmm. I've had someone call me a bitch to my face. I've never had someone say they want to see me fired.
Like, holy shit, she was out for your job.
She wanted to off me. And the way she came into the apartment, dude, like, I thought she was going to. Then my lead just was like, and I kind of start freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, can she do that? And then the lead was like, but the lead was like, no, there's no grounds. Like, that's like going to McDonald's and wanting to sue them for handing you the bag. Like, and then when I was talking to the clinic,
wanting them to sue you for,
because after all that, the clinical manager all of a sudden pops up from the floor, and then they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I wasn't available, like, what happened? And then I tell her all this story.
Oh my God.
And then my lead tells her all of her side of the story, and then like And then the clinical manager was like, like perception's everything, honestly. Because listen, me and my other coworker are known as the two giggly girls up front
Right.
because we are just giggling, having a time, laughing. But
Right.
all of my coworkers, like, they don't mind it because it's like it makes it look like it makes this place a little less depressing,
Right. Yeah. I mean,
because the department that I work in is a very depressing place, So they we when we talk to patients, they love it. The elderly loves it. Like it's just they love talking to us and we
right.
love giggling with them and having a fun time there because we want to make their experience their somewhat a good one.
Right.
The least we can do is be nice and be happy up front for them, right?
Right. Yeah.
So clearly wasn't received well. It was a crazy interaction, and I guess my rant to this all is like grief is a dark thing. Grief is not linear. Everybody handles grief differently. And you can hold me accountable to this too. Like, if we ever experience a loss as deep as this person did, I personally would never in a world threaten somebody's job and threaten to sue anybody because of something that I took wrong. Like,
Right. Exactly.
do you get what I mean? Like, nothing is ever that serious for me to do that to a complete random civilian that I know nothing about for doing their job. That is my rant of
Oh
this
yeah,
week.
that's a good one.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
That was fan freaking tastic. But
So let's move on
yeah,
to our next
yeah,
segment, Force Cinema.
for cinema.
Getting into
Yeah,
Force Cinema.
yeah. And your movie recommendation for me this week was Beauty Shop.
Yes.
Which this is honestly, I think, at least probably to most people, a pretty niche movie. Honestly, because I don't think I've met anyone else that has seen this movie. Genuinely, I think I've met one person that mentioned it once, and I was like, oh yeah, my mom used to watch that a lot.
No,
Like,
I think only one of our cousins has seen this movie, and that's the only other person that I know that has watched. A lot of people know that the barbershop movies exist, but they don't know that
right, that Beauty Shop exists.
and it's crazy because Beauty Shop was executively produced by Ice Cube.
Right.
So it's just, I love this movie.
Which
Oh my
it's a
goodness.
great movie. Like I said, like mom used to watch it a bunch. I
Mm-hmm.
remember, it's funny because like while watching it, I was remembering just like parts of it. I'm like, doesn't this have like,
Uh huh.
it was pretty fun. It's a great watch though, and I mean, to actually kind of get into the movie, I guess.
For those who haven't watched Beauty Shop, the premise of this movie is this woman played by Queen Latifah. She gets
I miss
she,
Queen Latifah acting.
yes. Oh my god, she's amazing. Um, she essentially is working at a salon, but it's a predominantly white
Well,
salon.
right,
Yeah,
right.
like the clientele is a lot of white people. The owner of it is Jorge, who is played by Kevin
Kevin
Bacon,
Bacon of all
and
people.
and he's this very like high class, like pretentious dude
Right.
that critiques her and also is very microaggressive to her
Women in general,
and just
honestly.
women in general for sure, but mainly her because she's a
Right.
woman of color.
Right.
And it really does showcase like being a woman of color, a person of color in general, but especially a woman of color in a woman dominated field too, of like no matter how good, because she's a great hairstylist, right? Like the creme de la creme of Atlanta, right? Of Georgia, I would say, in this movie. And she like again, like she's really good at hair, she's really good at what she does. And it kind of like showcases the theming of you can be so good at what you do, but the color of your skin will always play a factor in how you get treated in those places. And it's a recurring theme around this movie. In the beginning of the movie, she gets fired, right?
Right.
Or she quits, I would like to say. She
Right.
quit because she was fed up with Jorge.
Right.
So she goes and opens up her own beauty salon.
Exactly.
And this is where life just starts to
Pick up a little
escalate.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
escalate for her. Like pick up a little bit. She starts to thrive in her own salon, and
right.
the trials and tribulations of the salon as well. And that's basically the whole premise of the movie. And a lot of plot twists happen, or not plot twists, but and a lot of like obstacles come around too throughout her owning a salon. But
Of course.
it is a very comedic, feel good
It
movie.
is. It's so funny. I was watching this laughing so hard. Like I
Yes.
literally found myself laughing. This is another movie where you're like, you don't think women are funny? Watch this
Yeah,
movie. Like,
exactly.
you know
Women
what I
are
mean?
hilarious. Like,
Like,
truthfully, because like it also too towards the end of the movie, like again, something happens to her salon
right.
and she picks it back up, and the end of the movie she's thriving and having a good life
Hmm.
essentially at the end of it. And it's just amazing. It really is a good woman centered movie about how you can just pick up and keep going and just
Exactly.
ugh, I love this movie so much. Like
Exactly. Like,
it's so so good.
and I'm honestly sad that it took me this long to rewatch it at this point. Like,
I oh yeah.
I'm gonna show. I can't wait to show my daughters this movie. Like, you
Yeah,
know what I
you
mean?
guys, I maybe I
Like,
shouldn't have, but I was watching it when I was 4. And
and I was sitting right next to
yes,
you.
and I would
Like,
literally force Marcus to watch this movie.
I
Poor
was like,
Marcus wanted to
yeah.
watch like
Anything
Ratatouille,
else?
and I'm like, no, we're watching Beauty Shop.
Like, but or even when mom would just put it on too, but and it's just it was great. It was a great watch because obviously, like, beginning of the movie, it's a great introduction. We see a
Hmm.
very full introduction to the character. Like you said, she's like starting it, or not starting. She's been in this salon for a while. She's all these clients are coming to her. We
Hmm.
see that she's very established,
Hmm.
but we see that her boss is like this white dude that's like just kind of an asshole, and is very dismissive of like her work, in her opinion, even though she is very good at what she does.
Exactly. Yeah.
And with, a little obviously crazy, and she gets fed up with it. She has that whole like storm out, which is
Oh,
which
one of my favorite
one of the
scenes.
first laughs that I had in the movie, because like I think he tells her, he's gonna, like, you're gonna fall on your ass or like
No, yeah,
something.
he's like, you're gonna fall flat on your ass, and and she's like, well, I got a little cushion.
Yeah, that's
You want
it.
to kiss
It's
it?
it.
I don't
Then
think
thinks
so.
out, and then walk.
Uh huh.
And what I also like about this movie, which I like, was one of my immediate thoughts is, and I feel like this needs to be, and like we kind of talked about this with anyone but you, I think, with a little bit with the family dynamic. Unorthodox or just not normal like family dynamics
Hmm.
should be more prevalent in movies in general,
Right.
because because like we see in the movie that her daughter's like father just had passed away,
Hmm.
but she's still obvious. She still has a very close relationship with her mother-in-law
And her
and her
sister-in-law.
sister-in-law,
Yeah.
and it's like it's a very dynamic throughout the movie because obviously we see her sister-in-law
And
like
like her character
like
development as well is really
exactly.
great, and it's like credit to Queen Latifah's character and trying to have her transform into this woman, because she is
Right.
a woman, but she's not being her full potential of a
Oh
woman.
yeah,
She's
no,
letting these
she's like,
men that she's dating fund her life, and which fine, whatever, but at the same time, you need to do for yourself.
oh yeah, no.
And that's a great theme in this movie too, is the encouragement
That
of
entire
that.
conversation was low-key just like kind of powerful because like she
Yes.
because when she's like, I don't, if a man wants to pay my bills, that's fine. And then
Oh,
when it literally just clouds back or what, you're just lazy.
like, and then
Uh,
what gets me in that scene, my
just
favorite, what gives me chills all the time, honestly, when I watch this movie, is when she tells her, "You sound real stupid right now." Like, I'm not saying, and this is like an opinion, okay? So nobody like, don't throw tomatoes yet. I'm just saying, as women, we have come so far from depending on men. It's so important for us to not depend on a man, even more so, because we are told by society, as women in general, that we can't do it on our own. And that's been a societal pressure for centuries for us. So when she tells her how stupid she sounds saying those things, it really, I think this movie is the reason why I'm this like, I don't tolerate shit. The thing is, I feel like it's so important as women for us to just be established on our own, because she helps her get established on her own and motivates her
yeah,
to do so. And from that point on,
right.
and it's amazing to see. Truthfully, I
It
love
is.
it being represented in movies like that.
This is a just greatly written story
Mhm.
about an independent woman who is doing independent things for the betterment of her life and the people even around her. She has a daughter,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean. Like it's great. Like you said, her sister-in-law, like she's even like seeing these people. We're seeing that these people are almost depending on her,
Mhm.
and in all these things, and she's handling this great responsibility, obviously.
Mhm.
And and the best thing about it all, because what I love about even seeing things like this is it's a comedy.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
hilarious.
it is. It's great.
Like there's a lot there to appreciate. Of course, there's a great acting in the movie.
Mhm.
Like the cast is pretty stacked.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and the cast is beautiful as
Oh
well.
yeah,
Like
Marcus was like the entire time jaw on the floor drooling.
it,
Oh my gosh, but it is a great movie, and I'm glad that you got the chance to rewatch it again
I'm
because
glad I got the chance to
I
rewatch
rewatch
it
it
again.
every chance that I get, and I get you get movie cravings sometimes. We're like, oh, I want to watch this movie. I will literally, if I can't find it anywhere, I will hop on a ship and watch it because I want to watch it that badly because I love this movie to pieces, and I'm thank you to our mom for introducing me to this movie from a young age because it
Honestly,
really I feel like this movie changed my brain chemistry,
that's fair.
truthfully, and helped me develop into being this woman that I am because Queen Latifah is just an amazing woman in general, and her in this movie, I feel like it's not too far from her as a person.
Right.
Yeah, but it's great. I'm glad you liked it.
It was great.
What's your rating?
I was gonna say my rating for this movie. I actually think would be like a full 5 stars. Like
Yay!
this is an all around great movie to me.
Mhm.
Like it's great. It's got great timing.
Yes.
It's great pace. Like
Mhm.
I love the movie. Like it's honest. It's really great. There's, like I said earlier, a lot to love. The
Mhm.
acting is fantastic. The cast is stacked. Um, and yeah, it's a feel good movie. So I didn't find really much like wrong with it. So yeah, it
I
was,
love it. I love that you love this movie as much as you remembered liking it.
yeah, no, and I would definitely say I can't really like set on my list in front of me, but definitely is in the top 5. I would say so far now. It
That's
definitely
amazing.
cracks the top 5.
Love it. Love it. All right, let's move
But
on
yeah,
to my turn.
yeah,
So it's my turn.
yeah.
Stand by Me was the movie that you assigned me.
Indeed, it is. And let me just say to anyone who hasn't heard of this movie, man, where have you been?
Yeah.
This movie is way older than both of us.
Right.
So I mean, it's an amazing movie. It's about four friends. They're about I think they're in middle
They are
school.
in middle school.
Yeah,
They're young.
yeah, they're in I want to say about like seventh, maybe eighth graders, something
Yes.
like that.
Mhm.
Actually, narrator of the story is Will Wheaton's character. It follows him and his three other friends. It's in the 19, I want to say
50s,
50s,
60s. Yeah.
about the 1950s, and they live in this small town. They have they've been friends for a while. The little twist of event that kind of just occurs while they're hanging out is one of their friends comes in and tells them about a dead body that is
Mhm.
supposedly somewhere down these railroad tracks, like miles and miles away. He hears about this through his older brother, which his older brother and their friends are a bunch of like hoodlums and
Yeah,
like
they're these
just
older teenage boys
right,
that are just
just no
rebels
right,
and
literally those classic no good guys wearing like
mhm.
some leather jackets, doing tattoos on each other and
Yeah.
smoking cigarettes. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, so he hears about it and goes and tells his friends, and his friends decide like, hey guys, let's go see the dead body, and
Mhm.
let's go be the first ones to like report where it is. We'll probably get a bunch of money or
Mhm.
something and get like on TV and stuff.
Mhm.
So they're thinking it's going to be this super exciting adventure. And that's essentially what the story follows, is them going on this journey to go and find this dead body. And it follows them going obviously through a few tribulations. Will Wheaton's character mainly is kind of a writer.
Mhm.
So he likes to tell the characters a couple of stories. There's very fun scenes where they're sitting around campfires. It's a very feel good coming of age story,
Yeah.
especially given that all four boys come from kind of different backgrounds. We
Different
see different
homes.
homes. We see a lot of their characters, their issues within their characters. This movie gets honestly surprisingly deep.
Yes.
Um, I think it is based on a book, if I'm
It
not
is,
mistaken.
and that's
Yeah,
part of my fun facts, so it
right.
is.
But in any case, yeah, that's essentially the story of the movie. Yeah, tell me what you really thought for
Well,
your official review, I
first
suppose.
thing, my official review, I did originally put 4, but I wanna say maybe actually 5. Like, truthfully, like, if I really learning about the fun facts about this movie made me add on a star, actually.
Hmm.
So this movie, I mean, like I said, I think the first time I watched it, I was 10. You watched it when you were 7. Like, we were really young when mom showed us this movie, and
Right.
it was honestly, I rewatching it now as an adult, it's like, wow, like this movie's incredible. Truthfully, so incredible. And Rob Reiner being the director, may he rest in peace, because he said that this is the best work he has ever done. And here's the thing, Rob Reiner was a former actor as well.
Right.
I mean, he kind of is an actor. Like, I think he was the dad in New Girl.
Right.
So I think that's like the most recent thing he had done before he passed.
Hmm.
But
Which I loved him in that.
oh yeah, he's great.
He's hilarious.
And but I think that's so why it goes back to the importance of actors being directors. And this movie showcases exactly why. Because when I was looking at the fun facts, and there's so many facts about this movie, like, truthfully, if you are interested in just wanting to know more about this movie, go on IMDb on their like trivia page of this movie on their tab. Just I spent like a good amount of time going down the rabbit hole, and I had a hard time picking like my favorite fun facts, but it is an incredible movie that explores so many complexities of young boys and the environments that they grew up in, and also like not just that, but also like there's this underlying theme of comparing trauma.
Oh yeah,
Do you get what I mean?
yeah, because like
Like,
the boys are kind of going. There's a part where they're obviously going around telling stories,
mhm.
and
Sure.
Corey Feldman's character, because he has a lot of issues with his dad, and obviously he kind of it's the whole beaches in Normandy and all
Yeah,
that stuff,
and
and we
like
see a
River
very
Phoenix's character has
right,
also a lot of family issues
right,
with his entire family,
right,
and you have Will Wheaton's character. His family dynamic is just so sad too, because his older brother had passed, and
right,
you can see that he's being neglected by his parents because they are still grieving their oldest son. And this cast is also incredibly like just stacked as well. And then you also have Jerry O'Connell's character. Poor thing, like his trauma is not just at home, because let's say like his friends kind of like look at him as this like pathetic little weasel, because
pretty much,
his
yeah,
parents like he has a good life at home, right? From what they see. But also I think there's an underlying trauma with him with his older brother. Do you get what I mean? Because like
right,
sibling trauma is also just as bad as parent trauma. Because your parents can be good and fun, but then your siblings can be complete awful people to you,
right,
because there's some sort of underlying resentment that they are working through. Not giving excuses, but that's just how it works, right?
right,
But when what we're seeing, but in this movie, it's amazing, it's powerful. I'm excited for, like, I would love, like, because we have a younger brother, Roman, and I would love to, he's watched this movie before,
I think
but
so, yeah,
I think when he watches it when he gets older, like, it'd have a different impact on him, and as it has on you. And it's a very, very, very amazing movie. And kind of diving in a little into my fun facts, like you just mentioned, it is based off of a book.
hmm,
It's actually a novella, not a book. So
oh,
there's difference between books like novels and novellas, and that it's based off of one called The Body by Stephen King.
oh,
Yeah, so that's basically what it's based off of. And Stephen King was actually very, I don't want to say like super involved in this movie, but he was very much, I want to say, like, consulted for this movie. Him and Rob Reiner are actually really good friends. Will Wheaton's character is based
word,
off of, oh yeah,
hmm,
that's sad. That kind
hmm,
of broke my heart a little bit.
hmm,
But Will Wheaton's character in this movie is based off of, loosely based off of Stephen King, and that's how Rob Reiner got the inspiration of the type of writer that he wanted Will Wheaton to be in this movie. When Rob Reiner did a screening for Stephen King, I believe like just him. And Stephen King, like when he watched this movie, he at the end of it, I guess Rob Reiner like noticed that he was like shaking and like kind of like getting really emotional, that he left the theater, and then he came back and told Rob Reiner, "This is the greatest movie I've seen you do." Like, he
well,
really loves this movie. A lot of people that were involved in this movie love it so much. And Stephen King talks so highly of this movie, and it's not even his. Like, it's amazing. The cast too talks so highly. Corey Feldman talk so highly about this movie as well, and it makes me so sad knowing what we know about the trauma that Corey Feldman has gone through. He made it seem like it was probably the safest set that he had been on as a kid, one of the safest. And getting into this cast, like, it's just, oh my gosh, it's the cast being like you have Kiefer Sutherland, you have River Phoenix in this movie. These movies are so beautiful though.
Right?
Like this,
Like,
no, this movie specifically, like you can tell the chemistry between this cast was real. And again, diving into my like first fun fact, the pond that the boys fall into in the movie was actually a man-made pool.
oh, really?
Because if you have watched this movie, or if you haven't, I guess too, there's a scene where they try to dodge the train, and they fall, like, or not fall, but they like jump off the train tracks into this pond, right? They land into this pond. Rob Reiner wanted to make sure that there was nothing in the ponds, like the naturally made ones. He wanted to make sure that there was no like things that could essentially get them sick or, you know,
Actually hurt them, yeah.
actually injure them and hurt them. Yes. So Corey Feldman in an interview had stated the ironic part is that Pond, they filmed this movie or started production in June, right? By the time they got to that scene, it was already August. So they had already built that pool or that pond in the forest in the woods in June.
Oh,
So by the time they filmed it in August, there was likely like wildlife in the pond. Also, I liked knowing that it was filmed during the summer because you can tell when I'm watching this movie, I'm like, that sun looks hot. Like,
it's like the lighting is so like it's beating down
it's
sun. When it's
so
not
bright.
nighttime, it's like sun out. Like
Yeah,
it's
and
really
you can tell, like, I'm sure these boys were sweating. The lead actors weren't allowed to see Ray Brower, which is the
but
dead kid
yeah,
in the movie.
right.
They weren't allowed to see him until the day they shot the scene of his reveal. And just to get like this genuine reaction from them. So all of their reactions in that scene are real.
Oh, wow.
Seeing him, yes. Kiefer Sutherland, who's Ace, he's one of like the head honcho bad rebel guys in this
Yeah.
movie. He claimed that in an interview that one of the locations was actually filmed at a Renaissance fair, like, or there was a Renaissance fair
Going on,
happening
yeah.
nearby. So they all went to the Renaissance fair. They bought cookies, and those cookies were actually laced with marijuana. So these poor kids are eating these cookies, and he had said that Jerry O'Connell, who plays Vern, really like onto his character, to be real. Like,
Oh my
it is so
god.
funny because he said that they found him in a forest crying somewhere because he was having a bad trip. And the next fact that I have is that the main cast, of course, River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, Will Wheaton, Jerry O'Connell, they all stayed in a hotel together. And it's actually really known. There's a certain hotel that a lot of young actors stayed in when they were filming because, parents have jobs, right?
Right.
So they would leave these kids like in like a hotel with all of them. And so when they were staying at their hotel, they were like causing a lot of mischief. Some of those including throwing all the poolside furniture into the pool, and like I guess like Will Wheaton like was fixing the video games in the lobby so that they could play them for free. One of the other things that they did unknowingly was cover a person's car in mud, like completely. But they didn't know it was Kiefer Sutherland's car. Actually, so the theme song, of course, is Stand By Me by Benny King.
Mm.
Michael Jackson was actually supposed to do a cover of the song, and that was supposed to be used in the movie. But Rob Reiner
Really?
ultimately decided that they would just use the
The
original
original
one.
version,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is like a really like cool thing when you find out that like Corey Feldman was really good friends with Michael Jackson and all these other things. It's a nice little fact to know.
Right.
Um, my last fact is that after Rob Reiner screened the movie for Steven, oh, I already
Yeah,
said that
you
movie,
already said that.
but yeah, but those are the facts that I have on this movie, and there's so many more though. Like those are just like the favorite ones that I picked. I could have honestly like had pages and pages of the facts about this movie, but like I said, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this movie is really incredible, and this
Oh
movie
no,
really does
yeah.
showcase a lot of things that young boys do go through, and it is very, very, very detrimental that as young boys should watch this movie.
Oh, 100%. Like speaking, I mean, obviously speaking as a man, And having have been a young boy watching the movie and had watched it several times even throughout my adolescence,
Mm-hmm.
of it, because obviously you just see how as you do grow up, how more and more these characters become relatable to you, because
Mm-hmm.
it is true, like it's a very very um true to nature
Mm-hmm.
coming of age story of how like men grow up, and especially with you have your friends around, you do
Mm-hmm.
dumb stuff like,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, it was set back in the time where there was like no phones at all, pretty much, and there was everything was like what 10 cents and some crap like that. Like, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, there was obviously different times, but the overtone stays the same.
Yeah.
And it's that when you're a kid and you're doing, there's can be so much happening around you, so much of it makes the person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
But we even do get other better, like, better messages in the movie of it doesn't have to, like,
Yeah.
because especially we have River Phoenix's character telling Will Wheaton's that, like, like, you should go out and do these things because you will be great. I'm probably gonna be some beat off in a jail cell or like some crap like that, like,
Mm-hmm.
and even Will Wheaton's character tells him, like, you don't have to do that, like, that's
Yeah.
not, like, you don't have to be that. And
It's very much like this is the reason why I am the way that I am.
right.
And
Ex-
accept it. It is what it is. There's no evolving, right? Because like you just said, that conversation between River Phoenix's character and Will Wheaton's character of like, I'm glad you think I can do great things, but I also think you can do great things too. It's a heavy conversation
right.
because it's almost like he was talking to a brick wall. Because when you have your mind set when you're that young, because it's not, this is why adults need to talk to children kindly. Because when you're watching this movie, the reoccurring theme is how adults talk to them.
Because, yeah, keep in mind, these are like we said, like seventh and eighth graders, they're already
Yes,
feeling like this,
exactly.
like, like,
And it does make me a little emotional because we really need to be careful and very intentional on how we talk to not just each other, but to the younger children whose brains are still developing. Because when you think about it, it's like, wow, how sad is it that his character was already set. This is how my life is going to turn out.
right.
I already know because that's what he's been told. He didn't make that up on his own.
um you're not your parents, and you're not
Mm-hmm.
you're not always your circumstances, you don't have to be.
Well, that is my fourth cinema of the week. I did forget to mention really quickly Beauty Shop on my favorite chick flicks of all time
Oh,
list.
right.
um, favorite chick flicks of all time, Beauty Shop is actually number 7.
Really?
It's number 7 out of 55.
Dang, that is okay.
Really
You know what?
high. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's in the top 10. Again, great movie. This movie is an amazing movie. Stand by Me. It's
it's in my top five of all time. And
it is for a lot of people. Quick little side note that I also thought it would be a little cute little tidbit to mention. Jerry O'Connell is married to a model, and unbeknownst to him, he found out that Stand by Me was actually her favorite movie of all time. And how he found out was like they were at a party with like their friends and her friends, duh, and one of his wife, well, because it's now his wife, his best friend or his wife's best friend came up to him, like they were all drunk, and she was like, yeah, like Stand By Me is like her favorite movie of all time. And she had posters of it all over her
oh my
room.
god.
And talk about manifestation though too, you know what I mean? Thank you for tuning in on this week's episode of Rated R for Relatives,
Yeah.
and we'll see you next
Yeah,
week.
I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.